Unatoka hapo unapatiwa gas. Ukienda hapo kando unapatiwa sufuria imejaa mchele na beans. Ukienda hapo mbele unaambiwa haya chukua pesa ya mboga. Alafu unaambiwa hata ukitaka unaweza panda hiyo boat uende uchukue samaki ya kesho. You know, as in the government has put everything on the line to woo the voters of Olkalau. But still, it just shows that you need to take the people seriously. Because Olkalau residents, at the very least, have shown the government that they take themselves seriously. And that's what matters. We have to recognize the strength that DCP has brought to the opposition side in the last few months. For a party that was registered in 2025, and they already have 3 elected MCAs, and they are going for their first MP.
Yes, mpenzi mtazamaji wa Sauti TV. Leo tuko na kiongozi kijana, kiongozi wa chama cha rais mwenyewe, rais aliyekuwa rais Mwai Kibaki, Party of National Unity, PNU, wanaita former ruling party, secretary general wa chama cha PNU, na vile vile a very big and great advocate in this town, wakili Frank Walukwe. Kwanza, today is a very big day. Elections are happening. Being a leader in the political parties, when kiongozi kijana pale kwa machama, what does this mean for Kenya, man?
First and foremost, thank you for having me. And for the record, we actually have a candidate in Olkalau. Just that it took a while for us to agree as a united opposition on whether we were going to support one candidate or not. So leo tutajijulia mbivu na mbichi. I'm seeing that there are scenes of violence already, state-sponsored violence in Olkalau. When the government interferes with an election to cause violence, that only is an indication of one thing. That the intelligence they have already indicates that they are going to lose that election. Why else would you have policemen in plain clothes causing violence during voting? And I don't know whether you've seen the voter turnout. The voter turnout is amazing. There's no other by-election that has been done since this commission took office that the voter turnout has been greater than Olkalau. Take into consideration that the people of Olkalau have been, they've tried to woo them with everything. Unatoka hapo unapatiwa gas. Ukienda hapo kando unapatiwa sufuria imejaa mchele na beans. Ukienda hapo mbele unaambiwa haya chukua pesa ya mboga. Alafu unaambiwa hata ukitaka unaweza panda hiyo boat uende uchukue samaki ya kesho. You know, as in the government has put everything on the line to woo the voters of Olkalau. But still, they can't be certain that they are going to take this seat. So it just shows that you need to take the people seriously. Because Olkalau residents, at the very least, have shown the government that they take themselves seriously. And that's what matters.
Kiongozi, you've mentioned something about the voter turnout. We've had other by-elections in the last few months. We've had Emuru Adikir, we've had Mbere North, we've had Malava, we had Banisa. The people in that region are taking this matter seriously. What does this mean? What does this mean to the region, and what message are they passing to the other electorate in the country?
The presumption currently is that central Kenya has bolted away from the president's grasp. That is a presumption. And that's the reason why most resources were thrown at Mbeere North, followed by Olkalau. For the ruling party, UDA, the bragging rights and the perception that the government still has a hold in Central is of fundamental importance. Because if that perception is put to the test and Olkalau residents actually prove that the presidency does not have a hand in Central Kenya, then it's going to be pandemonium. Hence the importance of Olkalau. Why were they not giving people gas and boats and infrastructure in Kisa East, for instance? Why were they not doing it in Narok? Why were they not doing it in such extent in Banisa? Because they understand the importance. Yes, and that's the reason why each and every government official has camped in Olkalau. These people have not been in their offices for the last 2-3 weeks because they've been sent with a clear agenda. You have to deliver this vote, and there's a likelihood that they actually may not.
The IEBC is at a position where its credibility could be on the line. We've seen cases of open voter bribery. Because how would you explain some of the issues that have been happening in the region? But what can they do to assure other Kenyans that 2027 could be different, the election results could be fair, verifiable? What can they do differently from this by-election that to assure Kenyans that 2027 could be different?
First and foremost, the IEBC chair needs to grow a spine and do what is right. There's a reason why the political parties fund was established to even the playing field for all political players. And the Constitution even speaks about even airtime in the media should be in a way that the government does not overshadow other political parties, because it's a multi-party democracy. Government officials, the Public Officers and Ethics Act, government officials are precluded from taking political sides. We've had PSS, we've had CSS, we've had directors of corporations on the ground helping to campaign for a political party-sponsored candidate. Yet the IEBC has done nothing. They were there when residents are being given mattresses and blankets and gas. And why can't the government start their projects of giving gas and free food in Marsabit, for instance, where they need it the most? Why did they have to wait for a by-election for them to start distributing these things? And IEBC's mom is doing nothing about it. If the chair of IEBC wants to be taken seriously, then he had the perfect opportunity to start with this particular state officers who are hovering all over Olkalau. Right? He has lost the opportunity. He has lost the credibility. The question is this going to be a reflection of next year? Time will tell. But I'd warn him that there are signs all over showing that next year elections is going to be highly contested. So if he does not put structures for discipline now, he will not have that capacity next year.
If things stay as they are, this could be the last election, the last by-election before the general election. If things are constant, maybe no elected leader resigns or dies or something like that, he has no chance to redeem himself. For example, the IEBC and all the commissioners have no chance to redeem themselves. Legally, we've seen all that has happened. allegations or openness of voter bribery, coercion, all this. Violence. What can be done legally? You're an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. What can be done legally to redress and maybe assure Kenyans that it is going to be a different ball game in 2027?
You see, unfortunately, for the IEBC is the referee. It's the referee to ensure that there's a clean playing field and that all the players are equal and there's no unfair advantage. Unfortunately, this referee is favoring Argentina. Ameingizwa box. So decisions are in favor of one party over the other. You see? What are we going to do about it? Actually, the only thing that political parties can do about it is to be diligently involved in the electioneering period. We need to ascertain the number of voters who are registered. We need to ascertain that the machinery and the system that is going to be used for voting is fit for purpose. We need to ascertain that the agents that we are going to have at the polling stations have the right competencies and capacities. And we, of course, need to ascertain that the Kenyan voters' vote is going to be verifiable. It's going to be done in a safe, transparent, and secure way. Yes.
We've seen the amount of resources that have been used, and I would compare this to what happened in 2021 when we had a by-election in Kiambaa, and that was when first the newborn political party of UDA got its first member. From the amount of resources being used in these campaigns, in these by-elections, what does it say about 2027? What will happen? Is for example, the state and the ruling party UDA going to use these same resources? Or I've heard some other quarters, people are saying in 2027 it will be very hard for example, the government and President William RUTO to give every constituency gas. So the chances of mobilizing resources to cover all these constituencies in the country would be a very, very uphill task for the president. Do you think it is something that probably even if the president wins all Kalau today, maybe 2027 could be harder to mobilize all the constituencies?
Well, first and foremost, we have to recognize the strength that DCP has brought to the opposition side in the last few months. For a party that was registered in 2025, and they already have 3 elected MCAs, and they are going for their first MP, and chances are that their candidate is a very strong candidate. Of course, we also believe that PNU's candidate is very strong. But for them to be considered high up there in this competition says something about the mobilization skills of Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. So that is something that has to be commended. Wanasema mgala muue lakini haki yake mpe. He's done a tremendous job of revitalizing the opposition. That said, of course, these resources, you must take into consideration that the resources that are being deployed in Olkalau are state resources. Those are resources that are supposed to be used to deal with construction of roads somewhere, alleviation of floods somewhere, school capitation. You can't come and tell us that there isn't sufficient money for school capitation, but you have money to bribe each and every voter in Olkalau. It doesn't make sense. Kenyans just need to realize that it's their resources that are being utilized in the wrong way. And that is money that is not accountable. The budget for the police has increased exponentially year in, year out, right? But there's nothing to show for it. Our policemen are still walking around with those old AKG3 guns. Since I was a small boy in primary school, the equipment has never been upgraded. The police vehicles, you still, when you go to report a case in a police station, you still have to facilitate by putting fuel. Police stations are still dilapidated. But those are the resources that they are taking and channeling for elections. Is it tenable? The entire country? Of course not. Olkalau is just one constituency. So it's easier to deploy resources. Can they even do it even for 10 counties? It's impossible. It's impossible. The amount of money that you'd need to deploy in that manner would bankrupt this country. So the true test, of course, is going to be in August 2027. Us, as a political party, as PNU, we are very clear that the people have told us that it's one term. And we are going to put our best foot forward to ensure that we form government with a united opposition ambit. So we are working towards that. We'll do our best to ensure that the people see the political scenario for what it is, and let the people decide. But most importantly, the vote of the people is the vote of God. Its sanctity should remain sanctified. No one should interfere with it. Yes.
You've mentioned something about the issue of the united opposition. Obviously, the Party of National Unity, PNU, being a member of part of the united opposition, there have been speculation about how a candidate, a unified candidate is, you're going to come up with a unified candidate. The pressure is on the opposition leaders to do it now, to do it. What can you tell Kenyans who are relying on the opposition to bring change in 2027? Because they are a bit worried. Are we going to see a split opposition? Are some of the people that are in opposition working with government that could decide to scuttle the unity? What should Kenyans expect from you in the opposition?
I think there's general consensus that the united opposition must agree on a formula of choosing the presidential candidate. And from all the discussions that have been had, all the principals have agreed to that general rule, that they'll come up with a formula. As to which formula is going to be deployed is yet to be seen. There are technical groups that meet and are looking at various scenarios of doing this. We'll let them do their work, and at the appropriate time, we will front a candidate that will excite the masses sufficiently to ensure that this government is a one-term government. And the generality also of it is that they would rather anyone else in the united opposition other than William Samoei Ruto. The economy cannot handle another 5 years of this. I have never been as broke as I have been between 2022 and now. The economy can't handle another 5 years of this. So anyone in the united opposition is better than this government. And we are working hard towards that.
Wakili Walukwe, let's finalize. You being a young leader, leading a political party that produced a president in Kenya. We are yet to analyze and see, we obviously through the photos, the turnout of young voters in Olkalau, in this other region. What is your message to young voters? I know registration for voters is still going on, but what is your message to young people in terms of their role in bringing change in 2027?
Your national ID card is your weapon. Registering as a voter is your bullet. You will not go into battle without the right equipment. Go out there and get your vote. That is the most important thing you can ever do for your generation. You must get that vote, because without it, you have no voice in national discourse.
Shukran sana Wakili Walukwe. We look forward to having this conversation. Try just to make Kenyans understand what is going to happen in 2027. Any new things you have lined up for the Party of National Unity activities, na ungependa kuambia nini members wa chama cha Mwai Kibaki?
Members, kaeni gangari. Blue Army najua iko huko nje, wametushikilia kwa ground. We are busy fortifying our strongholds. Mafans kwa ground wanafanya kazi. Na tuko sawa. We will be among the few political parties that will come to the table with our millions of votes. That I'm certain of. So we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. We are just not too loud about it, but we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. And come September next year, sasa tuongeleshane. Kwa sababu sasa hiyo ndakuja kwa meza na Kenya nimefanya. Yes.
Asante sana. Thanks a lot Wakili for your time. We look forward to having you next time.